Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm a senior at the College of Worcester, and I'm going to talk about how to be comfortable when in situations when you feel really uncomfortable, or how to be comfortable in your own skin. So, how I personally feel when I'm in a situation outside of my comfort zone is I feel really scared, completely vulnerable, like there's no protection, and I'm out in the open, It's like someone can completely see inside of you and see all the negative parts of yourself, the parts that you wouldn't normally choose to expose. So that's kind of scary. Also, it's like kind of being on stage in front of, thousands of people and forgetting your lines and or like you're being chased by some sort of predator that's, you know, trying to get to you and you're not sure if you're going to survive. And I don't know, that's at least how I feel. Um, it's really uncomfortable, as most of you know. And for me, some situations that sort of bring it out are, when I'm unsure of the outcome of something, like passing or failing a test, or, when I'm out in public, like in front of a lot of people, giving a performance or a speech, when I'm leading maybe a group activity, when I'm not necessarily sure of myself, if I have the skill level, if I feel like I'm being judged, or, you know, things like that. And I think a reason why a lot of us are scared of sort of situations like this is because, it feels almost like a life or death thing. Like we're not sure if we're going to survive, even if we know we're physically still going to be there afterwards. Kind of like the survival of our ego or our self-esteem. We don't know afterwards if, if we can take that much or that many blows to our self-esteem. Um, so it's just like when, we're not sure how the outcome is going to be, we kind of have this negativity that continually drains our self esteem from us, you know, because eventually it's going to become so low that, it's to the point where we're in this negative cycle and we're, thinking negative thoughts, giving negative self talk, and we're just in a really bad mindset. And we believe when we're in these new situations that if we make any mistakes that we're a complete failure, and that's absolutely completely wrong. And I think that we all need to get out of this all or nothing sort of mindset. um, so in my opinion, approaching new or uncomfortable situations is an opportunity for growth, because um, yeah, we might make mistakes, but if we kind of get into it and practice it, eventually it's going to become easier and easier to the point where the uncomfortable situation will, start to become comfortable, you know. And if we do make mistakes, that's okay, because, a lot of really important inventions and things in history were actually completely made by accident. So, um, great things can come out of accidents. For example, I know the chocolate chip cookie was actually a mistake. Same with, potato chips. That's a really small example, but, if you just turn into that person who says yes to opportunities and becomes fearless, you open yourself up to new surroundings. You have the potential to meet new people who could end up being really important to you and changing your life, or coming to the point where, you um, kind of realize new ambitions or new talents, or you start, you change a certain area of your life, and that ends up, benefiting you and maybe the rest of humanity if you, can make some really big contributions to society. Um, so, I feel like it's sort of like an exposure therapy. Start small at first, maybe only expose yourself to it for a couple minutes, and then gradually increase it. Um, but, I think in the end, if you allow yourself to be in those opportunities, you'll realize success in your true ambitions. Um, and some sort of techniques to, maybe make the uncomfortable more comfortable could include things like deep breathing, meditation. Um, Something that I think is kind of cool is even like creating a mantra, like a phrase that gives you strength that you repeat over and over to yourself, like, um, I will come out of this alive. I will come out of this alive, and just continually repeating that to yourself for reassurance. Also listening to relaxation music, maybe finding meaningful quotes or song lyrics that you connect to, or um, that you can kind of use as another mantra. Um, Even, engaging in something that you know for a fact that you're good at, that you know like the back of your hand, that can kind of remind you of the fact that you're in control and that, you're good at doing something. And when you kind of get into that mindset of, doing something that's comfortable, it can help to ease that transition. Um, Also, in addition to that, you can text or call people on the way to wherever you're going, or maybe take a break in between to call them to maybe get some sort of pep talk. You could also create, maybe a plan of how you're going to handle the situation ahead of time, and kind of repeat it to yourself on the way to wherever you're going, sort of like you're practicing a speech. That way, you know how you're going to react to certain things, like you've kind of already been in the moment. Also, some other things you can do are, distract your mind beforehand, watch a funny TV show, um, you know, kind of practice whatever you're going to be doing with maybe a family member or someone that you're comfortable with, almost like you're rehearsing it. Um, Also, obviously, you want to get a lot of sleep. Don't drink too much caffeine. Different things like that that would make you unnecessarily nervous. Also, maybe figuring out certain triggers within that situation that would maybe be too much or would cause too much fear, and figuring out how you're going to respond to those ahead of time. So that's something I like to call the if-then method. So you'd say, like, if I run into, this person who gives me trouble, I will respond by doing this. So you kind of know ahead of time. And that can really help you to get better at being comfortable in the uncomfortable. And the more you expose yourself to these opportunities and just, become used to it, your life can be a lot happier. You'll feel more in control. You'll have higher self-esteem, and you'll just be a lot more able to reach the goals that you've been trying to reach. And that's it. So thanks for listening. Bye.